Hello everyone, thank you for being here today. Our group will be presenting a detailed supply chain expansion plan for Maple Leaf Foods as a part of our project. We've chosen to focus on the Brazilian market, which presents a unique blend of opportunity and complexity. Throughout this presentation, we'll walk you through the company's background, our reasons for selecting Brazil, key logistical and regulatory challenges, our strategic approach to distribution, and recommendations for a successful market entry. We hope this case study gives you a practical look at how a real world company might plan and execute international expansion in today's global economy. To begin with, our executive summary highlights the core takeaways from our analysis. Maple Leaf Foods has a number of internal strengths, including strong brand recognition, a wide product range, and commitment to sustainability that positions it well in today's conscious consumer market. However, it also faces internal weakness such as high production and operational costs, as well as limited experience in South American markets. Brazil presents attractive opportunities like a rapid growing middle class, increasing demand for high quality protein, and expansion in online retail channels. At the same time, we must consider threats such as economic instability, bureaucratic trade regulations, and stiff competition from local and global players. Our strategy includes developing strong local partnerships, investing in regulatory research, implementing end-to-end cold chain logistics, and emphasizing sustainability to resonate with the Brazilian consumer. These strategies collectively aim to minimize risk while maximizing the market impact. Moving on to the company overview, Maple Leaf Foods is a leading Canadian food processing company headquartered in Mississauga, Ontario. The company primarily operates in the packaged meat industry and is known for its popular brands like Maple Leaf and Lightlife. Maple Leaf's mission is focused on delivering sustainably sourced high-quality protein products, including both animal-based and plant-based offerings. It serves a diverse range of customers through retail and food service channels in Canada and globally. A key differentiator for Maple Leafs is its strong emphasis on environmental sustainability, including goals like becoming the first major food company in the world to be carbon neutral. This commitment not only aligns with the global trends but also positions the brand as a forward thinking, social responsible organization, an image that will be important to maintain as it is entering the Brazilian market. Now, moving on, Brazil is a compelling market for Maple Leaf Foods due to several macroeconomic and demographic factors. It's the largest economy in South America and has a growing middle class with rising disposable income. These consumers are increasingly seeking high quality, convenient, and safe protein products, values that align with the Maple Leaf's offering. Furthermore, there is a growing consumer awareness around food safety, sustainability, and health, especially in urban centers. Brazil has also recently introduced tariff reductions on imported essential food products, making it more cost effective for Canadian exporters to compete. By entering Brazil, Maple Leaf can diversify its revenue streams and reduce its dependence on North American markets while also capitalizing on Brazil's demand for premium protein. This not only supports revenue growth but also furthers the company's vision of being a global leader in sustainable food production. Moving on, the specific product that we have chosen to export is Maple Leaf's Natural Selections shaved beef. This product is known for its premium quality, freshness, and clean label packaging. It is a vacuum sealed in a clear plastic film that helps maintain freshness, extends shelf life, and protects the product from contamination throughout transport. This makes it particularly well suited for international logistics. Each portion ranges between 150 to 200 grams, ideal for individual or family servings, and meets the growing Brazilian consumer demand for convenience and health conscious choices. The product's packaging design and label can be also easily localized for Portuguese speaking customers without significant cost or branding disruption. By introducing a high quality product that already meets the global standards, Maple Leaf can test the waters of the Brazilian retail market with minimal product adaptation.
First is compliance and regulatory considerations. Regulatory compliance is a critical part of exporting food products into Brazil, Maple Leaf must work closely with the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to secure export health certificates that confirm the product meets Canadian and international safety standards. Once in Brazil, the Ministry of Agriculture inspects all animal-based food imports. Approval must be obtained from their systems in advance of shipment. Additionally, ANVISA mandates proper Portuguese labeling, nutritional facts, allergen declarations, and expiration dates. Any lapse in documentation or packaging could delay customs clearance or result in product rejection. Therefore, Maple Leaf will need a dedicated compliance team to handle all regulatory touchpoints. This process may also involve periodic facility audits by Brazilian authorities, especially if the company wants to scale its operations later. Early engagement with regulatory bodies, including pre-approval of sample shipments, will reduce long-term risk. Second is logistics and transportation. To successfully export to Brazil, we had to align with both Canadian and Brazilian trade regulations and logistical frameworks. The process begins with compliance to Brazilian import laws, particularly those set by MAPA and ANVISA, which is the Brazilian Health Regulatory Agency. These bodies require a combination of health certifications, inspections records, and specific labeling requirements. On the logistics side, we recommend refrigerated sea freight using a 20-feet reefer container for maintaining cold chain integrity. The Incoterms selected is CIF, which are cost, insurance, and freight, which means Maple Leaf will cover transport to the port in Santos, Brazil, including insurance. So this term ensures better control over product quality in transit. From production to final delivery in Brazil, the estimated lead time is about 4 to 5 weeks, factoring in customs clearance, port handling, and inland distribution. This time frame is crucial for inventory planning and meeting retail timeline. Next is cold chain logistics and warehousing and distribution. Given the perishable nature of our product, logistics must prioritize cold chain reliability. Our recommended strategy is to ship from the port of Halifax using refrigerated sea flight. The shipment will be containerized in a 20-foot reefer until capable of holding about 10 metric tons of product. Continuous temperature monitoring will be used to maintain in a stable range of 0 to 4 Celsius throughout transit. The destination port is Santos, which has modern cold storage and handling capabilities. Upon arrival, the product will go through customs inspection and be temporarily held in a certified cold storage warehouses. From there, Maple Leaf will partner with local refrigerated transport companies for last mile distribution to retail chains or regional warehouses. Brazil's cold chain infrastructure, while still developing, has grown significantly in urban areas, especially in Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. We believe it's sufficient to support consistent and safe product flow from port to shelf. Okay, I will talk about packaging and weighting. From a supply chain perspective, packaging design and weighting have a big impact on shipping efficiency and self-presentation. Each unit of the natural selection shaped beef is vacuum sealed and weighs between 150 and 200 grams. For export, will pack 12 to 24 units per case, depending on the distributor's request. Those cases will then be staked onto pallets designed for 20-foot reefer containers. A single container can carry roughly 10 metric tons of product, which translates to over 50,000 individual packs. This scale allows Maple Leaf to balance supply availability with shipping cost. The clear, tamper-evident packaging enhances visibility and customer trust, which is especially important when entering a new market. It also complies with both Canadian and Brazilian food safety regulations. Moreover, the label layout can be easily translated to Portuguese and adapted with local nutritional formats, ensuring compliance with Anvisa's guideline. I'm gonna talk about estimated landed cost. A key component of our analysis was estimating the landed cost per kilogram of product once it reaches Brazil. Starting with production cost in Canada, we estimate a base price of $11.30 to $14.60 per kilogram in CAD. Adding CIF, shipping cost, insurance, and port handling brings the cost slightly higher. Upon arrival, we factor in import duties, local taxes, inspection fees, and domestic transport from Santos to the final distribution center. This adds another 15 to 20% to the total cost. Our final landed cost is estimated between $13 and $17 CAD per kilogram. This figure is essential for pricing the product competitively in the Brazilian market while maintaining profitability. It also highlights the importance of managed logistic costs and possibly exploring local production in the future if volume scales up. For now, this landed cost offers a viable starting point for Maple Leaf's premium product positioning.
So I'm gonna talk about the stakeholders and risk management. So several key stakeholders must be coordinated through the export process. Internally, Maple Leaf's export team, compliance officers, and logistic coordinators will lead the process. Externally, we will work with customs brokers, third-party logistics providers, and local Brazilian distributors. Government agencies like CFIA, MAPA, and ANBISA are also primary stakeholders for regulatory oversight. With so many moving parts, risk management becomes crucial. We propose several mitigation strategies. First, investing in robust cargo insurance to protect against loss or spoilage. Second, is conducting a pre-shipment audits and using track and trace technology during transit. Third is diversifying suppliers, contracts, and building relationships with alternate distributors to ensure resilience. In addition, language and cultural training for key team members can reduce miscommunication and speed up problem resolutions. Regular stakeholder meetings, performance monitoring, and contingency planning are all part of our proposed RIC framework. So let's discuss about the opportunities, challenges, and success factors. Entering the Brazilian market presents both exciting opportunities and serious challenges. On the opportunity side, Brazil's large population and expanding middle class are creating strong demand for premium protein-rich food products. Tariff reductions on food imports, especially for meat products, also help improve the cost competitiveness of a foreign brand like Maple Leaf. Additionally, there's a room to grow in Brazilian e-commerce and online grocery sector, particularly in urban areas. However, challenges include a complex regulatory environment, language and cultural differences, and the need for strong cold chain logistics. Brazil's infrastructure, while improving, still faces issues like port congestions, transportation delays in rural areas. The key to success are factors in overcoming these barriers will be early regulatory engagement, strong local partnerships, strategic pricing, and supply chain agility. Maple Leaf's commitment to sustainability and product quality must be maintained, even as it adapts to new consumer expectations in a global context. So now, let's dive into the core problem statement. The central challenge for Maple Leaf faces in this expansion is how to efficiently manage regulatory, logistical, and operational risk while entering a highly competitive and complex market. Specifically, the company needs to balance high-quality cold chain delivery, maintain compliance with unfamiliar regulations, and achieve a cost structure that allows competitive pricing, all without compromising the brand's identity or environmental values. If these areas are not managed properly, it could lead to customs delays, wasted inventory, reputational damage, or even financial losses. This problem is especially critical for a premium brand like Maple Leaf, where customer trust and consistent product quality are non-negotiable. Our expansion plan addresses this issue with an integrated approach like links regulatory planning, supply chain design, and strategic stakeholder partnerships. To better visualize the root causes of potential export failures, we have created a fishbone diagram. The main risk categories include logistics issues, such as cold chain failures or port delays, financial risk, like currency fluctuations and high landed costs, regulatory barriers, and the stakeholder misalignment. For example, a misstep in documentation could cause a delay at Brazilian customs, leading to spoiled goods and missed retail delivery windows. To mitigate this risk, our next step includes building a regulatory timeline, investing in temperature monitoring technology, and conducting a pilot shipment to test the process on a smaller scale. A phased rollout allows Maple Leaf to identify weak points and refine procedures before going to a full scale. This risk-informed approach increases the chances of a smooth market entry and helps build trust with the Brazilian regulators and partners. We conducted a comprehensive SWOT analysis to summarize Maple Leaf's position as it prepares for export. Strengths include a trusted brand name, innovative packaging, and a strong sustainability credentials. Weakness involves high operating cost, lack of local presence, and a limited experience in Latin American trade environments. Opportunities lies in the Brazilian market's appetite for imported protein, expansion in organized retail, and a lower import tariffs. Threat includes inflation, exchange rate volatility, and the strong presence of established local meat processors. This analysis guided our recommendations and allowed us to identify where Maple Leaf must invest in capacity building, especially in logistics, market knowledge, and stakeholder management.
Regulatory and logistics strategies for Brazil expansion. Our main recommendations are built around proactive planning, smart partnerships, and staying aligned with Maple Leaf's core values. First, we advise engaging with Brazilian regulatory authorities early in the process, ideally before the first shipment, to clarify documentation, inspection processes, and facility approvals. Secondly, Maple Leaf should prioritize the employee training on international compliance and cross-cultural communication. Third, we recommend investing in digital logistics tools for tracking, temperature monitoring, and delivery coordination. Fourth, it's the most important to choose logistic partners with experience in cold chain delivery in Brazil's urban centers. Lastly, we believe the company should lean into its sustainability messaging, adapting campaigns for the Brazilian market to communicate not only quality but also ethical and environmental leadership. These recommendations are drawn from a mix of industry best practices and insights gained during this case study. To remain competitive while entering a cost-sensitive but high-potential market like Brazil, Maple Leaf must refine its strategies on three fronts. Financially, the company should adopt lean operations and automation where possible to reduce costs. It should also consider hedging against currency risk given the volatility of the Brazilian real. Competitively, Maple Leaf should leverage its sustainability story as a unique selling proposition and maintain some pricing flexibility to respond to the dynamic market. Promotional pricing or bundling could also help during early stage entry. Operationally, the company should consider partial local sourcing such as packaging or distribution partnerships to bring down long-term landed costs and improve supply chain responsiveness. Building a diversified supplier and logistics network will reduce single point dependencies and improve resilience. Sustainability is one of Maple Leaf's biggest strengths, and it's an area that aligns well with global consumer trends, including those emerging in Brazil. The company has already achieved carbon neutrality and made significant investments in water conservation, waste reduction, and sustainable packaging. These initiatives not only improve supply chain efficiency but also appeal to a new generation of environmentally conscious consumers. In the Brazilian market, where deforestation and meat production have drawn global criticism, Maple Leaf can position itself as a cleaner, more responsible alternative. This sustainability profile not only helps the brand stand out but also builds goodwill with regulators, investors, and end consumers alike. Integrating this message into all marketing and stakeholder communication will be critical for long-term success. Building a resilient supply chain is essential for Maple Leaf's success in Brazil. This includes not only risk mitigation in logistics and compliance, but also brand protection. Partnering with local farms for ingredient sourcing where possible can reduce delays and improve public perception. Maple Leaf should also run scenario planning and stress tests across its supply chain, ensuring it can recover quickly from disruptions like port closures or refrigeration failures. This preparedness will enhance brand credibility and maintain customer trust. At the same time, Maple Leaf's brand should be positioned around premium quality, food safety, and sustainability, all traits that will resonate with Brazil's urban and health-conscious consumers. This kind of positioning helps the brand align with UN Sustainable Development Goals and provides a roadmap for ethical global growth. Our strategic roadmap includes both short and long-term actions. In the short term, Maple Leaf should implement digital supply chain tools like real-time tracking, automated reporting, and mobile alerts to stay on top of inventory and delivery conditions. It should also establish clear KPIs with local partners, launch a small-scale test shipment, and engage in initial promotional campaigns to build brand awareness.
In terms of long-term strategies, The company should focus on building local market intelligence, diversifying suppliers, and scaling sustainability. Long-term strategies also include deeper brand localization, possible joint venture with Brazilian retailers or producers, and continuous improvement through customer feedback and operational audits. Together, these actions will support both stability and innovation as Maple Leaf grows its international presence. Key learnings from Brazilian expansion. Our Brazil expansion case study taught us how complex global supply chain management can be when dealing with live products, strict regulation, and cultural nuances. We learned that success depends on more than just product quality. It also requires deep market knowledge and proactive risk planning and cross-functional collaboration. We also realized how important it is to balance operational goals with ethical values like sustainability, fair labor, and environmental stewardship. The project has shown us that entering a new market is not just about supply chain challenge, but a holistic business transformation that requires coordination across marketing, finance, logistics, and compliance teams. Key learnings from Brazil's expansion. Maple Leaf Food demonstrates a strong commitment to social responsibility through its sustainability initiatives and community engagement in Brazil. The company is dedicated to carbon neutrality and regenerative agriculture, ensuring that its operations contribute positive to the environment. Furthermore, Maple Leaf supports Brazilian farmers by sourcing locally built trust within the community and fostering sustainable partnership. These efforts not only strengthen the company brand's reputation but also align with global sustainability goals, enhancing consumer trust and supporting the broader community. This approach underscores their dedication to environmental and social responsibility in the global market presence. Lessons learned from group work. As a team, we gained valuable experience in project management and collaborative problem solving. One of the key lessons we learned that was the importance of assigning clear roles and setting early deadlines to avoid last-minute work. Regular communication through virtual meetings and shared documents helped us to stay aligned and manage our research effectively. We also discovered that embracing constructive feedback and being open to different viewpoints made our presentation stronger. Looking back, using tools like Trello or Notion and reviewing work more frequently could have helped us to be even more efficient. Overall, this project helped us develop not only technical skills but also teamwork and time management skills, we think will carry into our future as well. What we could have done differently. In reflecting on our group project process, there are several aspects that we could have done differently. We could have improved in our performance. First, we should have clearly defined our roles more clearly, which would have avoided overlap and confusions, ensuring that each teammate had focused area and responsibility. Regular check-ins would have kept us aligned and allowed proactive problem solving, while the use of project management tool like Trello or Asana could have improved our organizational skills, ensuring deadlines that we meet. We also missed opportunity for more structured feedback loops, which could have helped us refine our analysis and the work quality by incorporating peer reviews at multiple stages. Lastly, allocating time for reflecting and debriefing session at the end of our project would have provided valuable insight for the future collaboration, enabling continuous learning from group dynamics and improving our team approach. Last but not least, in the conclusion, the project gave us deep understanding of many factors involved in global supply chain. Maple Leaf entry in Brazilian presents an opportunity to grow its business while reinforcing its brand value of quality, sustainability, and innovation. With careful planning, strong partnership, and clear strategic direction, we believe Maple Leaf can build a successful and resilient presence in Brazil. Thank you for listening, and we look forward for your questions and feedbacks.